Chapter 1. The 4-year period has arrived. You are listening at novelfull.audio. P.S. Brain storage, not in college, academic affairs office. Han Yu, I told you, Tang San doesn't need to be taught by you. He is my disciple, Yu Xiaogang. Do you understand the rules? That Yu Xiaogang put his hands behind his back, held his head high, his eyes full of contempt. Even a soul master from a tiny place dares to argue with me, Yu Xiaogang, without knowing how high the world is. Yu Xiaogang, let me tell you, it doesn't matter if you are a friend of the dean, I am the dean of students. Tang San and Xiao Wu have been absent from class many times in a row and must be punished. Han Yu stood up angrily and scolded. Humph, you thought you could challenge me as the dean of students. Just wait for the dean to deal with you. Yu Xiaogang shook his sleeves and rushed out of the teaching office angrily. Yu Xiaogang, just wait. Han Yu snorted coldly. He was originally a time traveler from Blue Star. 4 years ago, the original owner was unfortunately killed while helping students hunt for souls, and he occupied the magpie's nest. It's a pity that the original owner's talent was limited, and his innate 4th-level soul power was ultimately difficult to use. Even if Han Yu practiced day and night, he could only break through level 40 as of today. It is worth mentioning that due to the old age of the original teaching director, Director Su, and because Han Yu was promoted to Soul Master. In just 2 years, out of love for talents, he voluntarily resigned from the position of director and appointed Han Yu succeeded him. 4 years ago, he heard the sound of the system, but it was a pity that the system had just started to bind and then fell into a deep sleep. Without a system and poor talent, he kept a low profile in the academy, fearing that the lunatic Tang Hao would come to his door, today. Because Tang San's behavior was so bad that it aroused the anger of many teachers, he had no choice but to stand up. Ding dong, the binding is completed, please host to complete the task as soon as possible. The system, it's really the system. Han Yu felt relieved. Now, the system is back. Yu Xiaogang and Tang San, 30 years in Hedong and 30 years in Heshi, don't bully young people into poverty. Director Han, why don't you explain this matter to the dean? It's Tang San's fault. The dean knows right from wrong, so he will definitely not blame you. Old teacher Mo Hen quickly reminded. With the system, there is no need to stay in Nodding City. Just say goodbye to the dean and old man Su and then leave. These two people had taken great care of themselves over the years, and it seemed so disrespectful to leave without saying a word. Ignoring the teacher's advice, Han Yu quickly returned to his dormitory. Lying on the bed, he thought, and the system panel suddenly appeared in his mind. Name, Han Yu, soul power, level 40, martial spirit 1, fire stick, martial soul 2, unlocked after completing the mission. Task, within half a year, add 100,000-year soul ring to your 4th soul ring, of any type. The mission is completed, the 2nd martial soul is rewarded, and the 1st martial soul is upgraded. The mission failed, and nothing can be deducted. Nothing is deducted. Han Yu. Looking at the data on the system panel, Han Yu suddenly felt tired. Damn it, although the fire stick martial spirit is not a useless martial spirit, it is only ranked among ordinary martial arts. It's just better than Yu Xiaogang's Zhuyang Wuhuan. Within half a year, I have obtained 100,000-year soul ring. The system really thinks that I am the young master of the 3rd sect. Complaints are complaints. If you think about it carefully, don't you have a walking soul bone with 100,000-year soul ring next to you? He wouldn't feel any guilt for killing Tang San and Xiao Wu. In his last life, after reading the Douluo Dalan novel, he felt quite disgusted with Tang San. I won't let anyone off the hook who hurt Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu took the initiative to cause trouble because he was not strong enough to be punished. Is this a way to die? Even if parents all over the world, if their children fall down while learning to walk, they don't say that the ground under their feet has a way to die, right? This purely morbid concept is ultimately due to the fact that Tang San and his 2 generations lacked family education. In his last life, he was an adopted orphan and was abandoned in the Tang sect since he was a child. When he grew up, he didn't learn well and stole the Tang clan's secret knowledge. In this life, I finally have a family. But Tang Hao was confused all day long, and he didn't care about Tang San. It was obvious what kind of education such a family could produce. Thinking of this, Han Yu even felt a little pity for Tang San. However, this thought was fleeting. Poor people must be hateful. This is not true at all. You can indeed get Xiao Wu's soul ring, but the soul skills it provides are really rubbish. The silky bone rabbit is not a powerful soul beast either. After much thought, Han Yu finally decided to try his best to find traces of other soul beasts in the past 6 months. When a soul beast reaches 100,000 years, it will face a natural disaster. Many soul beasts have bruises in their bodies due to their early survival and cannot survive the natural disaster at all. Han Yu's idea was that if he happened to meet the right soul beast, he could use his sharp tongue to persuade him to sacrifice to him. If you fail, the worst-case scenario is death. Moreover, the soul beasts who are facing the catastrophe will definitely want to survive at all costs, even if they write a blank check. Looking back at Xiao Wu, not only is the soul ring and soul bone garbage, but Tang Hao is always watching behind her. It may be difficult to force her to sacrifice. Even if he got the soul ring, Han Yu, who was in his 40s, would not be able to escape in the face of Tang Moazi's revenge. Counting the days, there are still more than 5 months until Tang San graduates from Notting College. I really had no choice, so I kidnapped them halfway and forced Xiao Wu to sacrifice. It's always good to be prepared for something like this. Relying on his own connections, Han Yu asked the master of the martial arts branch in Notting City to help him pay attention to the news about the 100,000-year-old soul beast. He was also a scholar himself, and in the name of wanting to study a 100,000-year-old soul beast, Palace Master Alto didn't have much suspicion. Jingle bell bell. As the crisp school bell rang, Notting College began its afternoon classes. Due to Tang San's many contradictory behaviors in class, the teachers were reluctant to go to class. No, they had no choice but to let Han Yu do it for them. Entering the classroom door, Han Yu immediately noticed the Tang Shenwang. Tang San stands up and goes out to stand. There is nothing wrong with what he does, both publicly and privately. Director Han, what do you mean? Tang San stood up and said, neither humble nor arrogant. If you succeed in pretending to be here, will I be worthy of being the dean? Xiao Wu, you come and stand together. The academy doesn't need unruly students. In my place, you are just a thorn in the side. No matter how talented you are, if you don't understand the rules, you will be punished. Han Yu's voice was not loud, but it made the students in the classroom sit on pins and needles. Director Han, why? I won't accept your request without proof. Tang San sat down proudly, as if he was the best in the world. Over the years, because of their strength, Tang San and Xiao Wu were the eldest brothers in the entire Notting Academy, and no one dared to contradict them. If he hadn't met Dai Mubai, who was stronger than him in Soto City, I'm afraid Tang San would still have this arrogant attitude in Shrek Academy. Han Yu sneered and said, you need a reason, right? Tang San and Xiao Wu have been absent from class for a total of 28 days this semester. They contradicted Teacher Li 3 times, Teacher Huang 6 times, and Teacher Mo 17 times. Although Teacher Mo is a good old man, he doesn't want to. I will hold you accountable, but other teachers don't want you to ruin everyone's learning atmosphere. If you don't obey the rules today, I have the right to expel you from the academy. How dare you? Xiao Wu stood up, put one foot on the table, and retorted loudly, we were delayed because of the training arranged by the master, and we asked for leave. P.S. It's a new book for a newbie, so please bear with me if there are shortcomings. This article contains some private information. Please don't comment if you don't like it. The main character is in his 20s. Chapter 2. Yu Xiaogang was beaten. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Asking for leave? Han Yu couldn't help but laugh. Who did you ask for leave from? With that Yu Xiaogang who is just trying to gain fame? Haha, he is not a teacher in the college and has no right to approve your leave. Moreover, you actually used the bullshit theory Yu Xiaogang taught you to contradict the teacher. You are so awesome, that Yu Xiaogang's theory is not wrong, but he copied it. If he insists on calling it his own, it will only make people sick. Moreover, most of these are theories that only high-level soul masters need to use. What's the use of saying it at the Junior Soul Master Academy? How many people here can be promoted to Soul Saint? I'm afraid there may not be one for decades. Use these stolen things and say them in inappropriate places to show that you are very capable and awesome. If you have this ability, you might as well blow up Douluo continent. I don't allow you to say that, teacher. Tang San's expression turned extremely ferocious, and he said coldly to Han Yu. Did I make a mistake? Tang San, the essence of your first and second soul rings are both entanglement, right? Wang Lei, you currently have a 9th level soul power, and your martial spirit is also of the plant type. Tell me, can you entangle? The timid young man stood up slowly and stammered, Director Han, my ivy spirit has the ability to entangle itself. Li Min is also a plant-type spirit. She also has the ability to entangle. Sit down. Han Yu looked at Tang San with a smile, so you should understand that blue-silver grass itself has the ability to entangle. If I were you, I might as well let the first spirit ring get a person who turns the martial spirit into a whip. Ability, the second soul ring adds fire attributes to the martial soul. In this way, wouldn't it be possible to obtain a certain degree of fire immunity, control, and a certain degree of attack power? This Tang San was immediately speechless. Over the years, he must have thought about this problem countless times in private. It's just that now that it's been brought to the table, it's really hard to accept. As a person living in a feudal society, Tang San's feudal thoughts were very stubborn. Once a teacher, always a father, this is his motto. Seeing that the time was almost here, Han Yu gave the final blow. Tang San, the prodigal son returns with gold. If you are willing to give up Yu Xiaogang, I will be happy to teach you the theory of martial arts. Douluo continent has the concept that one person can only worship one master, and Han Yu doesn't expect Tang San to turn around. It's just that he wanted to discuss their master and disciple. Once a teacher, always a father, Director Han, I won't allow you to insult me, Tang San. Xiao Wu, let's go out. Tang San's face was ashen, and he pulled Xiao Wu toward the door. What Han Yu just said just made Tang San confirm his inner thoughts. In Tang San's world, everything Yu Xiaogang said was right. Even if you have doubts in your heart, you will only keep them buried deep in your heart. Han Yu's words undoubtedly confirmed his inner doubts. If we could see a loving father and a filial son, it would not be a waste of time to travel through time. Han Yu smiled in his heart. At the same time, his desire to obtain Xiao Wu's soul ring and soul bones faded a bit. If Xiao Wu can be used to break the master-disciple relationship, this will be a real good show. Early morning a few days later, Yu Xiaogang came to the academic affairs office angrily and slammed his palms on Han Yu's desk. Han Yu, I told Tang San that he was my disciple, and you actually forced him to instill unfair theories. What do you want to do? Yu Xiaogang roared. Obviously, Tang San found him and told Han Yu what he said and the doubts in his heart. Yu Xiaogang was naturally frightened. When he accepted Tang San as his disciple, wasn't it because Tang San Mao didn't understand that he succeeded in deceiving him? If Tang San breaks up with him, who will be the guinea pig for his soul master theory? How long will it take for him to prove to the whole continent that his theory is correct? Why is the dog barking here? I'm just giving him some guidance. Han Yu picked up the teacup on the table and took a sip of tea calmly. When Yu Xiaogang saw this, he immediately felt insulted. His pride took over and he actually turned over Han Yu's desk in public. Hey, since you sincerely ask for a beating, then I will grant it to you. Han Yu stood up slowly. Even if he doesn't get rewards from the system now, he is still a level 40 quasi-soul sect. A 29-level great soul master dared to ride on his head and scream. How could he gain a foothold in Douluo continent if he didn't retaliate? The fire stick martial soul instantly appeared in his palm, and the moment the 3 yellow, and purple soul rings appeared, the 40-level soul pressure pressed against Yu Xiaogang in an instant. Yu Xiaogang fell to his knees, his eyes full of horror. How could such an honest man dare to attack him? It was really outrageous. Director Han, think again. Master is the dean's friend after all. The good old man Mo Hen quickly broke up the fight. Unless the titled Douluo comes in person today, it will be useless for anyone to come. You, Yu Xiaogang, are not from the Tang family, and Tang Hao will not stand up for you. As for Yu Yuanjin, he doesn't even care about this abandoned son. The second soul skill, continuous attacks, that the fire stick danced rapidly in Han Yu's hand. Han Yu, if you dare to hit me, you will be fired by the Dean. Yu Xiaogang gritted his teeth and quickly took out the life-saving straw. Stupid pig, look for a beating. Under the control of Han Yu, each stick hit Yu Xiaogang's face with great precision. One stick, two sticks, in just a few breaths, Yu Xiaogang was beaten beyond recognition, and his face was swollen into a pig's head. Director Han, stop now. Sensing something was wrong, a teacher called Dean Peifeng over. Unfortunately, he was a step too late. When he arrived, Yu Xiaogang was already unconscious, and several of his teeth had been knocked out. Hey, Peifeng sighed repeatedly. On one side is a friend with whom he is not very close, and on the other side is the successor to the Dean whom he has trained. He can still decide which is more important. Teacher Mo, take Xiaogang down to rest. This is the end of today's matter. No one is allowed to mention it again. Director Han, please come with me. Master Alto wants me to convey something to you. After the two left, the teachers were surprised and said, the Dean didn't speak for Yu Xiaogang. Is this? Teacher Li, who has a good relationship with Han Yu, whispered, I once heard that the Dean and the previous Director Su intended to train Director Han as the Dean's successor. Hey, it seems that this matter has not gone away. This Jade Xiaogang is used to being arrogant because of his relationship with the Dean. If he doesn't let him pack up and leave, it would be a mercy of Director Han. In the Dean's room, Peifeng didn't say much about Yu Xiaogang's matter. Instead, he looked at Han Yu in surprise. Director Han, I didn't expect you to be at level 40. If you need a soul ring, please tell me anytime. I'm not old enough to defeat a soul beast. Thank you very much, Dean. Han Yu smiled and then said, I don't know, Dean, Master Alto. I almost forgot about the real thing. That guy Alto received the news that Hui Yun has suddenly appeared after 1,000 years, and this time, he went crazy and killed people in the Star Do forest, as if looking for something. Chapter 300,000 Years Fire Cloud Crane. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 100,000 Years Fire Cloud Crane, a fire attribute soul beast. Han Yu touched his chin. If you can get his soul ring, you will definitely be able to provide yourself with excellent soul skills. In addition to the system helping to increase the strength of your martial soul, this fire attribute soul beast may be able to mutate your martial soul again. Maybe, as a time traveler, Han Yu knew that when the soul beast entered the 100,000-year stage, it would face a catastrophe after living stably for 1,000 years. Successfully surviving it will increase their lifespan by 100,000 years. And their cultivation can exceed 200,000 years, and this Hui Yinha suddenly went crazy. And attacked people and other soul beasts. It must be because of the catastrophe, and he is unable to resist, so he can only find ways to find the treasure. Han Yu was not sure whether it was yes or no. He asked, Dean, when this soul beast appeared 1,000 years ago, did it just break through the 100,000-year level? Hearing this, Peifeng laughed and said, Director Han, you guessed it right. When I was working in Wuhuan Hall, I accidentally saw an ancient book, and there was indeed a record of this fire cloud crane in it. It is indeed like you, it's as expected. And the number of this kind of soul beast is extremely rare. I don't think there will be another one. Han Yu breathed a sigh of relief. If the deadline is really approaching, then he has at least a 90% chance of success. I heard that old guy Alto say that you are planning to study the 100,000-year-old soul beast, right? Peifeng asked. Han Yu nodded in confirmation. Yes, that's right. If you want to become the Dean, you must make certain achievements in the theoretical research of soul masters. Studying 100,000-year soul beasts, this theory is enough to convince those guys in the Empire. Does the Dean want me to be his successor? Han Yu thought of what the other party did today, and the results were self-evident. It's just that he doesn't want to be trapped here for the rest of his life. However, after thinking for a while, he still did not express his thoughts. At present, his savings are not much, and they are not enough to support his career on the mainland. As long as you don't resign, your salary will not be less. Well, you don't have to be surprised. You are only in your early 20s, and you have practiced so hard. Now you have reached the realm of Soul Sect, so you are indeed qualified to serve as the Dean. Dean, You don't need to say anything. The strength of 100,000-year soul beast is comparable to a powerful title Douluo. Be careful on this trip and only observe from a distance. Even if you can't find anything, Dean, I have other topics for you to study. Don't worry, you will be paid to do research during this time. Dean, I want to say that I don't want to inherit your position. Having said this, Han Yu couldn't say much more. After nodding in agreement, he left the academy, rented a carriage and headed to the Star Forest. The Soul Beast town in front of the Star Do Forest has been taken over by the Tiando Imperial Army and the Wuhuan Palace Guards. Except for Soul Masters who need to break through, no one is allowed to enter. Han Yu entered without any hindrance on the grounds that he had been promoted. The place where the 100,000 years fire cloud crane hangs out is far away from here. Otherwise, I might not have a chance to come in. The journey of cultivation is to fight against people and against the sky. What's more, I am going against the will of heaven to change my destiny. If I can't obtain this 100,000-year soul ring, I'm afraid I won't have a future. If he fails to complete the task, the system will kill him. If Xiao Wu's soul ring is snatched by force, Tang Hao will kill him. From this point of view, looking for another soul beast is the least threatening option. Knowing that he was not strong enough, Han Yu did not dare to go deep into the forest rashly. He followed the outermost edge of the Star Forest and kept approaching the position given by Alto. If you want the other party to sacrifice to you, you must first see the other party. As for whether the other party would give him a chance to speak, Han Yu believed that as long as he said the key words, the other party would definitely listen to him. People will seek medical treatment indiscriminately when they are seriously ill, let alone a spirit beast. A few days passed quietly, and relying on his martial soul's affinity for the natural fire attribute, he found the right destination. Not far in front of him, a crane-like soul beast with a wingspan of dozens of meters and a body bathed in flames was attacking something in the forest. Time waits for no one, Han Yu shouted at the top of his lungs. I know your disaster is coming, and I have a way to help you. Although Hui Yunhe could hear him from such a long distance, he couldn't clearly hear what he was saying. Human, seek death. Hui Yunhe looked up to the sky and roared, flying towards Han Yu at high speed. The next moment, he flapped his wings, and flames swept across the sky. I know your disaster is coming, and I have a way to help you. Han Yu closed his eyes and shouted again. 1 second, 2 seconds, the flames did not engulf him, but a huge figure fell in front of him, a real 100,000-year soul beast. Han Yu's throat moved slightly, trying to keep calm. Human boy, you actually know about the heavenly tribulation and tell me what you can do. If you dissatisfy this emperor, your death is coming. I think you will be the one who dies. Human, you are looking for death. Hui Yunhe suddenly became angry. Thousands of years ago, you broke through to the 100,000-year level. Thousands of years later, it happened to be the time when the first heavenly tribulation came. If my guess is correct, you must have left a lot of hidden wounds in your body due to the battle in your early years. Facing the heavenly tribulation, in the end, you will only lose your soul. Hearing this, Hui Yunhe did not get angry. Seeing Han Yu's confident look again, he knew that the human in front of him really knew something. Then tell me, how should I survive the catastrophe? If I succeed, even if you are a human, I will still be willing to be your brother. I do not know what to do. Han Yu shook his head. The catastrophe was defined by gods, and he, as a mortal, had no right to stop it. Are you kidding me? Hui Yunhe's expression was extremely ugly. Unless you choose to transform immediately, I'm afraid you have many enemies in the soul beast world. Once you transform, you will definitely die. Seeing the hesitation in Hui Yunhe's eyes, Han Yu continued, I have a way to avoid the catastrophe and directly advance you to a divine beast. Human brat, are you kidding? Divine beasts are the goals that every soul beast pursues. If it were so easy to become a divine beast, would the soul beast still be nesting in Douluo continent? I'm not kidding. Hui Yunhe thought for a moment and asked, Human, tell me your method. If I succeed, I will cover your cultivation resources. Han Yu pretended to sigh. You won't agree with this method, so I might as well not say anything. Hui Yunhe's curiosity had been aroused by him for a long time. Even if Han Yu said it, the other party would still think more about it and would not feel that he was lying. Human, I swear, no matter whether your method is useful or not, I will let you leave safely. If you violate it, thunder will come and you will be wiped out. Han Yu smiled in his heart, playing hard to get worked. The method is very simple. Your sacrifice to me is considered an investment. I can swear with my martial spirit that as long as I become a god, I will resurrect you in the divine world. By then, you will be an out-and-out divine beast. Chapter 4 The blood shines and the sacrifice is completed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Human, you dare to covet my emperor's soul ring and soul bone, you deserve to die. Hui Yunhe was furious in an instant, and he had the momentum to take action. Han Yu was calm and said, Did you forget the oath you just made? In Douluo continent, when humans use their martial souls and soul beasts to swear their own heavenly tribulations, they usually come true. There are real gods here, and it cannot be ruled out that there are gods in charge of oaths. As expected, a hint of fear flashed in Hui Yunhe's eyes. Han Yu took advantage of the situation and continued, facing the natural disaster alone, the chance of success should be infinitely equal to 0. Otherwise, you wouldn't go crazy looking for resources to help you break through the natural disaster. Even if you have the resources, your success rate is still less than 10%. The soul beast can only rely on itself to survive the catastrophe, and no matter how many resources it has, they are only external objects. Han Yu, who knew this well, naturally understood what the other party needed. And if you sacrifice yourself to me, then I am 90% sure to get the test of the gods. Even if you are not a powerful god, it will be no problem to resurrect you. By then, you will be a divine beast, and you will be able to avoid the troubles of natural disasters. This situation is a win-win situation for both you and me. I think you won't refuse my proposal. Hui Yunhe knew his own situation, but whether Han Yu could become a god was still unknown. If Han Yu had received the inheritance from the gods at this moment, he would sacrifice without hesitation as long as he swore an oath on his god's throne. Can 100,000-year-old soul ring and soul bone can improve the talents of human soul masters. I believe that your bloodline is enough for me to meet the standards of a god's heir. I am willing to swear by my future godhood and my martial soul. As long as I achieve the status of a god, will resurrect you in the divine realm. The speed of human cultivation is countless times that of soul beasts. Hui Yunhe didn't believe Han Yu's so-called promise, but he showed confidence and was neither humble nor overbearing in the face of himself. This involuntarily gave him the idea of making a sacrifice, as he said, once resurrected in the god realm, even if he does not reach the level of a divine beast. Then there will be no trouble from heavenly calamity in future cultivation. This is a big gamble. If you win, you will become a winner in life. Even if he didn't lose the bet, he was still a loser. After a long silence, Hui Yunhe finally spoke, Human, remember your oath. If you dare to violate it, I will not let you go even if you are a ghost. Han Yu smiled calmly and said, You should be a divine beast. We may have the opportunity to discuss moves in the divine world in the future. Okay. Human, your determination has impressed me. Remember your words. Hearty laughter echoed in the forest. A burst of blood-red energy suddenly erupted from Hui Yunhe's body and enveloped Han Yu. The rich soul power fluctuations, even just one breath, will make people break through on the spot. 100,000 years of cultivation all exploded at this moment. When this emperor wakes up, he will be a divine beast. That the blood-colored light beam soared into the sky, lighting up the entire periphery of the Star Doe forest. Countless strong men gathered outside the forest, all looking at this scene in the sky. That's the position of the 100,000-year-old Hui Yunhe. Oh my god, there is actually a senior who can absorb his soul ring. On the mainland, I'm afraid another peerless strong man will be born. No, there was no fighting in the forest. Hui Yunhe was not killed by someone. In the Soul Beast town, in a luxurious carriage, the young man could not help but widen his eyes. Beside him, the middle-aged man with a snake-shaped mark on his forehead said solemnly, "Young master, I have seen this scene before. This is the sacrifice of 100,000-year-old soul beast. Once it starts, unless the victim is sacrificed, completely absorb the soul ring, otherwise, no one can interrupt this process. So, this person may not be a titled Douluo. Grandpa Snake, Grandpa Guizhou, find this person quickly. If he is a member of the upper three sects, he will be killed without mercy. If he is a casual cultivator, he will be recruited immediately. The young man is from the Tiando Empire. Emperor Xueqinghe, at the same time, she is also the young master of Wuhuan Palace, Qianren Xue." The two titled Douluo took the order and rushed into the Star Do forest in an instant. Not only them, but also the sect leaders and family heads of many powerful forces sent strong men to try to win them over. Among them, there is also Ju Ghost Douluo, Han Yu, who was in the process of making a sacrifice. Naturally had no knowledge of the outside world, as the last ray of soul power sank into his body, a blood-red soul ring exuding a terrifying aura suddenly appeared at his feet. Not only that, a fiery red soul bone and a palm-sized young fire cloud crane suddenly lay in his palm. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission, the Wanhua system is perfectly bound. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a soul guidance ring, which can store living creatures, unlocking the second martial soul's fallen heart flame, and the first martial soul's perfect promotion. Name, Han Yu. Soul power, level 46. Soul ring configuration, yellow, purple and red. Martial spirit 1, fire cloud stick. Martial spirit 2, fallen heart flame, requires the host to refine the alien fire by itself. A soul guidance ring appeared out of thin air in his hand, and Han Yu quickly put the Huan larvae and soul bones into it. With these two things appearing in his hands at the same time, I am afraid that many powerful forces will have the urge to kill and steal goods. As for the flame in his left hand, the movement just now was definitely not small. I'm afraid many people are watching to catch up. If you want to leave safely, you must absorb the fallen heart flame, and then rely on the characteristics of the strange fire to break out of the siege. I can only escape deep into the forest, hoping to find a safe cave. Shortly after Han Yu left, a sword light flashed across the sky and fell to the ground. In the sword light, the white-haired old man with sharp eyes looked around. Sect Master, it seems that the person has gone far. Uncle Jian, are you sure this is a sacrifice? These two people were surprisingly Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo, the masters of the 7 treasures Glazed sect. Ning Fengji provided a speed increase, coupled with Chen Xian's level 96 soul power, allowing them to rush to the scene as soon as possible. Chen Xian nodded solemnly. Although I have never seen a sacrifice, I can make a conclusion based on what happened more than 10 years ago. If 100,000-year-old soul beast can offer sacrifices on its own initiative, could this person be the soul beast incarnate? Ning Fengji slowly bent down and looked at everything around him. At that time, Tang Hao's incident caused a stir on the mainland, and Ning Fengji also learned about the transformed soul beast from that time. This possibility cannot be ruled out, and I can feel that the surrounding smell has been burned away by a powerful flame. We may not be able to capture the traces of that person. Chen Xinjian frowned slightly. Even the remaining heat of the flames around him couldn't help but feel palpitations. This is definitely a strong man. Sect Master, the people from Wuhuan Palace are here, let's go first. Since there will be no gain, there is no need to waste it any more. The visitor was naturally Jugue Douluo from Wuhuan Palace. Old ghost, it's Kendo Qinchin. Yueguang said solemnly. Jiuhua Pass, if this person has nothing to do with the Qibao Glazed sect, then they have found the direction of that person's escape. Let's follow. A black soul ring lit up under the ghost's feet, and he followed quickly like a ghost. Chapter 5 Tang San wants to beat the teacher. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At night, in a hidden cave in the mixed area of the Star Forest, Han Yu sat down cross-legged, the invisible and colorless fallen heart flame floating in front of him. The moment the strange fire left his body, the temperature rose sharply. The scorching temperature caused the surrounding space to begin to distort. When Han Yu reached out and approached, the temperature of the strange fire dropped rapidly. It seems that this is the protection measure given to me by the system. TSK, with such a temperature, even a powerful tidal Douluo will still die if touched. The ever-expanding inner fire of the fallen heart flame compressed the soul power in Han Yu's body to an extremely solid level in a short period of time, and even caused him to break through the first level of soul power. The fallen heart flame is indeed a training cheat. It seems that I can advance to a higher level in a very short period of time. After thinking for a moment, Han Yu decided to absorb the soul bones first, and then rely on the fallen heart flame to compress the soul power that suddenly surged in his body. The 100,000-year-old soul bone itself is a hot potato. After absorbing it, as long as he doesn't use it, no one will know that he has a soul bone. The moment the 100,000-year-old Huiyin's left arm bone was taken out, a dazzling flame lit up in the dim cave. Han Yu was very fortunate that absorbing soul bones could ignore the cultivation level of a soul master. Otherwise, you will really become a eunuch looking at beauties. Putting the soul bone on his left arm, he quickly entered a meditative state. At the same time, inside Nodding College, Tang San, who hadn't seen Yu Xiaogang for several days, was extremely anxious. "Third brother, I've searched all over the academy and can't find the master." Xiao Wu ran over, panting. "I've asked other teachers, and they don't know where the teacher has gone." Tang San frowned, with a vague premonition in his heart. Xiao Wu thought for a while and suggested, "Third brother, if the master really goes out for something, he should leave a letter like your father did. How about we go to his dormitory to look for it?" Tang San had no idea for the time being, so he could only accept it. In front of the dormitory door, thinking that Yu Xiaogang had left the academy, Tang San opened the door without even knocking. The moment the door opened, Tang San finally saw Yu Xiaogang, whom he had longed for. "Teacher, what's wrong with you?" That even after several days, the bruises on Yu Xiaojiang's face still did not dissipate. If it weren't for his iconic crew cut and the robe he had worn for who knows how many years, Tang San wouldn't even be sure it was him. "Xiao San." Yu Xiaojiang's words were a bit leaky, so he turned away quickly, fearing that he would be embarrassed in front of Tang San. All four of his front teeth were knocked out by Han Yu. "Teacher, who beat you like this?" Tang San clenched his fists tightly. He knew that his teacher was not good at fighting. He had already seen it when he was hunting the Datura snake. However, at that time, in order not to expose the hidden weapon, Tang San even had the idea of killing Yu Xiaogang. "Mistress, I." Yu Xiaogang put down the porridge in his hand and felt ashamed. After disappearing for so many days, it's not that he doesn't want to go out, but it's a bit embarrassing to go out like this. Suddenly, he had an idea and said, "Xiao San, it was Han Yu who did it. That day I asked him to discuss the theory of dialectical soul masters, but he knew he couldn't defeat me, so he got into a fight. You also know, teacher, I am not good at fighting, if not anything else. If the teacher stops me, I'm afraid I'm going to be handed over to this old man. Hey Xiao San, you should stay away from him from now on. His theories are nonsense and he will beat people. I'm worried about you and Xiao Wu." In this way, Yu Xiaogang not only changed from the provocateur to the victim, but also trapped Tang San. "It's really worthy of being called Yudashi Bencher." When Tang San heard this, he became furious. "Humph, he actually wants to sow discord between me and the teacher. What he told me that day was completely nonsense." With a plop, Tang San fell to his knees. "Teacher, please forgive me. I shouldn't have questioned your theory because of Han Yu's nonsense that day." Yu Xiaogang helped Tang San up with a look of relief. "Xiao San, being able to realize your mistakes proves that you have grown up. Only those who know their mistakes and can correct them are good children." "Yes, teacher." Standing up, Tang San was about to walk out angrily. "Xiao Wu, come with me to avenge teacher." "Hey, third brother, I've long been unhappy with that guy. Come on, we two 27th level great soul masters can't believe that we can't beat him as a soul master." Xiao Wu held Tang San's hand with a look on his face. Excited to set off. "Mistress, stop quickly." Among the people present, Yu Xiaogang was the only one who was still awake. Han Yu is the dean of students. He has great power in the college and holds the power of life and death for the students in the entire college. Teacher, once I am a teacher, I am always a father. I will not let go of anyone who dares to hurt you. Tang San said solemnly. At the same time, he touched the sleeve arrow on his arm. As a disciple of the Tang sect, people like Han Yu who already have a way to die must be killed, otherwise they will cause trouble for themselves. Xiaosan. Yu Xiaogang suppressed his leaky mouth and said, Xiaosan, Han Yu can be regarded as a teacher of the academy no matter how you say it. Douluo continent has a tradition of respecting teachers since ancient times. Although he is not your teacher, but there is also the grace of teaching. If you and Xiao Wu attack him, I am afraid that there will be no place for you in the entire academy, and you will even be despised by the soul masters in the entire continent. He didn't dare to let Tang San start this kind of thing, otherwise if one day Tang San found out that he had been deceived, he wouldn't be able to get his bones ripped apart. Teacher, me. Xiaosan, you are a good boy, and your future is bright. A guy like Han Yu is destined to be stepped on by you in the future, so why are you worried about this moment? Yu Xiaogang advised earnestly. Tang San nodded in agreement, but he had already made up his mind, since we can't attack Han Yu openly, let's carry out a sneak attack. After all, sneak attacks are what the Tang sect's hidden weapons are best at. He didn't believe that Han Yu could dodge the silent sleeve arrows, and his technique was like a hidden weapon. When the time comes, just take care of the scene. If anyone asks, he will refuse to admit it. Who will know that he did it? Before leaving, Tang San and Xiao Wu left a lot of gold soul coins behind. Yu Xiaogang naturally wanted to use the money to find a healing spirit master to fill his teeth, but he didn't have enough money of his own, so he had to put aside his old face and ask Tang San to borrow it. In the following days, Tang San secretly and openly inquired about Han Yu's movements. It's a pity that the other party is no longer in the college. 2 days passed quietly. Han Yu slowly opened his eyes and exhaled a breath of light turbidity. The 100,000-year-old soul bone is really powerful. It can not only cleanse the muscles and marrow, but also increase my soul power to level 50. Next, let's start absorbing the fallen heart flame. From now on, I will also be the sole master of the twin martial arts, Tang San, but just a clown. Absorbing strange fire is not easy. Even with systematic protection, he still has a high risk of death. The fire was introduced into his body through his soul power, and the scorching temperature instantly hit his limbs and bones. Ah, you must hold on. Gritting his teeth, Han Yu continued to refine the strange fire. Chapter 6 Refining Strange Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The fire in the heart continues to enter the body, and the scorching temperature gradually gathers towards the heart. The severe pain made Han Yu's consciousness blurred. He held his hands in front of him, trying to stay awake. Never fall down. It is not easy to change your fate against the will of heaven. It is rumored that the 9th grade golden elixir can change an ordinary person's talent from a useless person to a genius without any side effects. But this is nothing more than transferring the heavenly calamity to the person who refined this golden elixir. The black magic thunder sky-destroying strike will kill you if you are not careful. Han Yu did not have such good luck, nor did he have such a strong family background. When he came to Douluo continent, he had to rely on himself. The powerful pain made him lose track of time, until the source of the heart fire was completely introduced into his body. He could no longer hold on, his eyes darkened, and his body fell aside. After an unknown amount of time, a white light enveloped him. The burned skin on the body recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. Han Yu's consciousness gradually returned. What a gentle force. His body seems to be recovering. His eyelids were slightly heavy, making it difficult for him to open them. The pain in my body gradually disappeared until... Suddenly a scream came, and Han Yu's consciousness suddenly woke up. He is now in the star forest, and there are many dangers around him. His eyes opened quickly, and 4 yellow, purple and red soul rings suddenly appeared under his feet. He clenched the fire cloud stick tightly in his hand and quickly searched his surroundings. The screams seemed to get louder. Han Yu turned around suddenly and saw a woman dressed in black with a black gauze covering her face standing behind him, covering her eyes. There were many holes and dust on her clothes, and her blue hair was slightly messy hanging behind her back. The whole person looked very embarrassed. "Who are you?" Han Yu asked with a wary look. He didn't know how this person got here, nor did he find out what the other person's purpose was. The most important thing is that he has 100,000-year soul bone in his body, and there are many people who covet it, so he cannot let down his guard. Hearing the voice, the woman's voice was slightly shy and said, "Can you put your clothes on?" Clothes? Han Yu did not rush to check himself, but took a few steps back to keep a safe distance from the other party. After making sure that the other party had no intention of taking action, he lowered his head and looked at himself. Han Yu blushed and felt a little embarrassed. Damn it, this strange fire likes nothing more than burning clothes. After hurriedly taking out the clothes from the package behind him and changing them, he coughed lightly. "Ahem, who are you?" That the woman slowly moved her hand away. The person in front of her had a handsome face, but the most dazzling thing was the blood-red soul ring at her feet. 100,000-year soul ring, I support you, you. Han Yu suddenly smiled. The person in front of him was obviously an inexperienced girl. As for the other party's appearance, he seemed to have seen it before somewhere. After trying to calm down, the girl said, "My name is Yilingling." It turns out to be her. Han Yu suddenly felt relieved. To say that the strongest healing soul master on the continent is naturally none other than Jiuxin Haitang, it's no wonder that the other party's treatment effect is so obvious. "My name is Han Yu." Name, Han Yu. Soul power, level 50. Soul ring configuration, yellow, purple and red. Martial spirit 1, fire cloud stick. Martial soul 2, fallen heart flame. Looking at the panel update in his mind, he realized that he had completely refined the alien fire. Most of these still rely on the help of the system. Otherwise, he doesn't even have an earth spirit pill and will be burned to ashes the moment he comes into contact with the strange fire. "How did you get in?" Han Yu slowly leaned aside and asked. "This cave is absolutely hidden, and unless a high-level soul master specializes in detection ability, no one can discover it." He himself also relied on the system's prompts to get here. Yilingling gradually began to sob. "Originally, I came here with my family elders to obtain the spirit ring. Unexpectedly, more than a month ago, a riot suddenly broke out in the forest. In order to protect me, Grandma Wu lured away the spirit beast on her own." Han Yu finally understood that Yilingling, who had lost his protection, could not escape from the forest alone. He could only hide in a cave and rely on the food in the soul guide to survive. Perhaps because of Huiyinha's sacrifice, the owner of that cave returned. After that, Yilingling ran away and fell into this place by chance. Han Yu could only say that she was lucky. If the fallen heart flame had not been refined by him, she would definitely be burned to ashes if she fell. "Don't let your seniors down. Since you escaped, live well. What are your plans next?" Han Yu gently patted her shoulder and comforted her softly. Yilingling wiped the tears under the gauze and nodded heavily. "I want to report to Tiando Royal Academy, but the journey is far away and I can't get there at all. Senior, if you are willing to escort me there, the academy will give you a fortune, not a bad reward." Tiando Royal Academy. Han Yu touched his chin. This was not a good place to go. If he remembered correctly, in the final stage of the Soul Master competition, the Wuhundian team dealt a fatal blow to Huangdo. Except for Du Guyan and Yu Tianheng, everyone else seemed to have been killed. Since Yilingling let him touch her, there was no reason to send her to the fire pit. Jiuxin Haitang's martial spirit is so powerful that even the Qibao Glazed sect would be a little afraid of her if they kept her by their side. To be honest, I am also a teacher in a college. I think your aura has not obtained the third soul ring. You are such a good talent. As a teacher, now that I have met you, there is no reason to let go. I will obtain it for you. Soul ring, how about you go to our academy? Are you also a teacher? Yilingling's beautiful eyes flashed. She has no feelings for Tiando Royal Academy, and she is not a noble. The reason why I can go to study there is only because of my own martial arts. After thinking for a moment, she asked, Teacher, if you can tell me about the bloody soul ring, I will go to your college. As you can see, it is indeed 100,000-year soul ring. I got it just by chance. Han Yu's words were half true and false. Yi Lingling also understood that for Han Yu to become a teacher at such an age, he had his own opportunities. What kind of soul beast is chasing you? How old is it? 20,000-year-old heavily armored porcupine. No wonder you escaped. For a defensive soul beast, speed is obviously not its advantage. However, Han Yu didn't plan to go out now. Soul beasts have a habit of wandering around the haunts of their prey. Fighting against an irrelevant person will only waste your soul power. Just in time, he needed to make some preparations to absorb the fifth soul ring. Classmate Lingling, it's relatively safe here. Let's practice for a few days and wait until the heavily armored porcupine leaves before going out. Okay, Teacher Han. Han Yu said with some guilt, it's still early to call the teacher, but it will be soon. If Yi Lingling knew that he was a teacher at the Junior Soul Master Academy, I don't know what he would think. From now on, it will be updated on time at 1800 hours every day. Dear readers, please remember to read it. Chapter 7 Damn Strange Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sitting cross-legged, Han Yu activated the fallen heart flame in his body and continuously tempered the soul power in his body. Even without deliberate cultivation, fallen heart flame will still continue to refine its soul power. It is indeed a flame that is known as a training cheating tool. If it were replaced by other strange fires, the improvement of soul power would not be as high as this. After only a few minutes of practicing, the effect is already equivalent to that of an hour. This speed is really terrifying. Teacher Han, the flames emanating from your body can actually speed up my cultivation. Yi Lingling said in surprise. She has seen many fire attribute soul masters, but not only has she never seen a soul master who can help others practice, they have never appeared in the history of Douluo continent. Han Yu thought for a while, and since he decided to take Yi Lingling under his command, giving her a wisp of the inner fire of the fallen heart flames would speed up her cultivation. This kind of flame is a rare thing in the world. I can give you a wisp of fire, which will also help your cultivation. Teacher Han, is this really good? Although I don't know what it is, the training speed of auxiliary soul masters is recognized as the slowest in the entire soul master world. With this help, she knew she might have some ability to protect herself. In the Douluo continent, the status of a healing soul master is approximately equal to that of an alchemist in the Dochi continent. There are constant battles between soul masters, and being able to get the help of a powerful healing soul master will undoubtedly make you less worried. Healing spirit masters not only charge money to do things, but those who seek treatment, as long as they are not a wolf-hearted person like Tang San, know how to be grateful. If I can reach the Soul Saint quickly, I won't be afraid of being pursued by the Qibao Glazed Sect. Yi Lingling made up her mind, walked up to Han Yu, and took the initiative to reveal herself. There was always a icy sadness on her face, and her eyes were full of expectation. Even Han Yu couldn't help but sigh that Yi Lingling's face was definitely the most beautiful one he had ever seen, compared to the silk thread that is always wrapped around him. No, there is no contrast between the two. Why did you think of lifting the veil? Han Yu asked with a smile. Yi Lingling solemnly said, these rare things belong to Teacher Han. If I hide them in front of Teacher Han, I will really feel ashamed. I thought it was your family's tradition to wear a veil. If that's the case, just sit down. Han Yu stopped laughing and looked more serious. You are not a fire attribute soul master, but this flame will be stored near your heart. Once it gets out of control, you will definitely die. I will control the sub-fire to build a nest in your body later. It may cause some burning pain. Remember to let go of your soul power and don't resist. Yi Lingling took the matter seriously. In order to become stronger, this is the ordeal she must go through. Coming, a faint wisp of sub-fire emerged in Han Yu's palm. Although the shape of the flame could not be seen, the temperature of the flame made a plant-type soul master like Yi Lingling feel heartbroken. System, please help me. She is a plant-type soul master. She is naturally afraid of flames. I am afraid of causing harm to people. The host's fifth soul ring needs to absorb more than 25,000 soul rings before the 10,000 fire system can provide help. Originally, Han Yu planned to absorb a 20,000-year-old soul ring. Now that he has added 5,000 years, the difficulty will inevitably increase exponentially, but the strange fire is not an ordinary flame, and it may be able to help when absorbing soul rings. With the blessing of a 100,000-year soul ring, Han Yu's physical and mental strength are no longer what they were before. Good. After system modification, the flame will perfectly adapt to the target. Han Yu did not hesitate and instantly sent his inner fire into Yi Lingling's body. Yi Lingling felt extremely painful. Be patient, this will help you a lot in the future. Teacher Han, please continue. Yi Lingling said weakly. The moment the heart fire entered her body, Han Yu relied on the perception of the origin of the heart fire to fully know the direction of the Zihua in her body. He couldn't let his inner fire build a nest in Yi Lingling's heart, otherwise if something went wrong, he wouldn't even have a chance to rescue him. After thinking about it, Han Yu decided to place Zihua in Yi Lingling's dantian. In this way, since she is constantly tempering her soul power, Yi Lingling can quickly sense if she loses control. After getting through the initial period of pain, Yi Lingling's breathing became much more stable. Han Yu seized the opportunity and quickly let his inner fire nest. I don't know how long it took, but the inner fire finally finished building a nest. Han Yu, who had suffered a huge loss of mental energy, slowly lay back. Thank you, Teacher Han, me. What's wrong? Han Yu quickly sat up, fearing that something was wrong with Zihua. The scene before him was something he would never forget. Yi Lingling's snow-white skin and graceful body curves. I didn't see anything. Han Yu reacted and turned around quickly. Yi Lingling lowered her head shyly, with a blush appearing on her face. Damn strange fire, you can't do anything. You are the first to burn clothes. If this spreads out, my reputation as Han will be ruined. While slandering in his heart, Han Yu's mind Dao Shuabai's voice kept emerging. In both his previous life and this life, he was an out-and-out bachelor. How could he have ever seen such a scene? After practicing for a long time, Han Yu saw that his mental power had completely recovered and his body had reached its fullest state, so he decided, let's go out today. I will help you get the soul ring first. After that, I will also get the 5th soul ring. I still need your help. Yi Lingling nodded. After Han Yu made sure it was safe outside the cave, he walked out. The two of them made a tacit agreement not to mention what happened before, as if it never happened. 9-Heart Begonia is a plant-type martial soul, so a plant-type soul beast with healing ability is your first choice. With the heart fire body forging, your 3rd soul ring may be considered to be around 1,500 years old. It should be noted that 1,500 years of soul ring is the maximum number of years that the 3rd soul ring can absorb. For ordinary soul masters, only those with strong bodies dare to try it. Yi Lingling is only an auxiliary soul master, and the original limit of absorbing the 3rd soul ring is 1,200 years. Teacher Han, I can do it. Yi Lingling naturally felt the increase in physical strength. 1,500 soul rings are just right for her. However, plant-based soul beasts with healing abilities are hard to find. Han Yu himself knew one person, the Blue-Silver Emperor. Apart from that, he obtained most of his knowledge from the memory of the original owner. It has to be said that compared to people like Yu Xiaogang who are seeking fame and reputation, the original owner's achievements in the study of Wuhuan theory would definitely be higher than Yu Xiaogang's if it were not for resource constraints. Before we came here, our family received news from the soul hunting team that clusters of teak spirit vines appeared on the outskirts of the Star Doe forest. I know where they are. Teacher Han, please let me lead the way. That's fine. P.S. I want to ask for your opinions. Which heroines do you want to see? Of course, readers, don't forget about updates, recommendation tickets and monthly tickets. Chapter 8 Elder Qin of the Qibao Glazed Sect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Teak vines cannot grow alone, they must rely on trees to provide support for their growth. For this kind of plant-type soul beast with no fighting ability, Han Yu naturally found a suitable soul ring for Yi Lingling without any effort. Teacher Han, why are you so reserved? Seeing Han Yu's reserved posture, Yi Lingling couldn't help but feel a little funny. Han Yu spread his hands and said, I am a fire attribute soul master. If I fail to control the flames and accidentally kill other teak spirit vines and cause a forest fire, I will be in trouble. Forest fires are often accompanied by a tide of beasts, and he is not stupid enough to dig his own grave. As for the teak spirit vine, its healing ability is useful for both human soul masters and soul beasts. Keeping them here is far more valuable than getting rid of them. Maybe one day, he himself is injured in the forest, and he may be able to rely on this teak spirit vine to heal his injuries. Yi Lingling chuckled, then sat down cross-legged and absorbed the soul ring. In the middle, some soul beasts also came here to seek treatment. After seeing Han Yu and the others, they did not take action, as if this was their holy land. The sun was setting in the west, and the absorption of the soul ring was coming to an end. Han Yu stood up and stretched. I wonder if I can find a suitable soul ring in the mixed area. Suddenly, there was a noise in the surrounding trees. Fire Cloud Stick, that it's okay if it's a soul beast, but if it's a human, I'm afraid I'll be in trouble. In the Great Star Forest, humans pose a greater threat than spirit beasts. Most soul beasts have very low intelligence and they only follow their instincts. Human beings, on the other hand, can conspire. Elder Qin, according to the news from the sect, there is a gathering place of teak spirit vines ahead. Ha ha ha, okay, it seems that you little guys are blessed today. 3 young men wearing uniform white clothes walked out of the bushes. The moment they saw Han Yu, they immediately became vigilant. Who are you? The old man in black robe walked out from behind the 3 young men and looked at Han Yu warily. Looking at the glazed tower symbol on the young man's chest, Han Yu asked tentatively, "Are you from the 7 Treasures Glazed sect?" "Young man, you are a bit discerning. I am Qin Li, the elder of Qibao Glazed Sect's outer sect. We don't want to be enemies with anyone. If you behave and don't move here, I can pretend you didn't see it. Teak spirit vines are not aggressive, so there is no danger in letting the 3 young men hunt for souls alone." The old man only needs to keep an eye on Han Yu. Yi Lingling was absorbing the soul ring now, and Han Yu didn't want to do anything. There was a harmonious scene between the 2 sides for a brief time, until Jiuxin Hai Tang, this is the Jiuxin Hai Tang martial spirit. Elder Qin, hurry up and take action. A young man saw the martial spirit in Yi Lingling's hand and shouted quickly. Although Han Yu didn't know the relationship between them, the other party clearly planned to take action in this situation. Picking up the fire cloud stick standing in front of him, Han Yu tentatively said, "I don't want to be violent, so don't bully others too much." Elder Qin took a few steps forward, and the firebird spirit suddenly appeared behind him, and 6 spirit rings of yellow, purple, and black appeared at his feet. "Boy, just get out of the way. This is the grudge between our Qibao Glazed sect and Jiuxin Haitang. As long as you are willing to get out of the way, I won't make things difficult for you." The old man relied on his 67th level soul power. His tone brooked no objection. Yi Lingling completed absorbing the soul ring at this time. Seeing the soul master from the 7 Treasures Glazed pagoda appearing in front of her, her eyes couldn't help but dim. "Teacher Han, you are no match for him, hand me over." Han Yu only has 4 soul rings. Although there are 100,000-year soul rings among them, compared to the Soul Emperor, this is still far behind. Helping someone, shaking his head, he continued, "I can't do it. I am a teacher, and no teacher will run away when his students are in danger." Although he had not seen Han Yu's soul ring, the old man knew that his soul power had just reached level 50. "Ha, if you are an enemy of our Qibao Glazed sect, I think you are seeking death." The 3rd soul skill, Bird Flame Strike. The phantom of the firebird quickly condensed in Elder Qin's palm, and its rich fire attribute aura caused the surrounding trees to sway continuously. Han Yu didn't want to destroy this place, so he grabbed Yi Lingling's hand and quickly ran towards the outskirts of the forest. However, in the eyes of Elder Qin, this kind of behavior is a sign of weakness. "Give me an increase, and you will increase each other's increase. Follow me." "Teacher Han, I'm sorry, it's me who has caused trouble for you," Yi Lingling said in a low mood while running. "Classmate Lingling, you seem to have forgotten the teacher's flame. How can that old guy's flame defeat me?" Han Yu said with a smile. Yi Lingling raised her eyebrows. Thinking of the temperature of Han Yu's flames, she suddenly felt a little more confident. Han Yu stopped when he saw that he was far enough away from where the teak spirit vines gathered. Why don't you run away? Boy, I don't care which college you are a teacher in, as long as you hand over the 9 hearts and Begonia spirit master, I can forget the blame. Run. Han Yu twisted his neck. I just don't want to destroy that piece of pure land. As for this place, let this be your burial place. Huh, ignorant kid, let me show you what the power of the Soul Emperor is. Elder Qin's soul power surged rapidly throughout his body, powerful fire attribute abilities gradually condensed around him, and the huge firebird shadow gradually appeared. The black soul ring in the 6th position suddenly lit up. The 6th soul skill, bird fire mysterious hunting. This is your method, I'm so scared. Han Yu sneered. The next second, he put down the fire cloud stick with his right hand and lightly snapped his fingers. Pa! Ah! Elder Qin's face instantly turned pale, he covered his heart with both hands, and the shadow behind him instantly shattered. Elder! The 3 young men were shocked and hurriedly stepped forward to support him. Boy, what did you do to me? Elder Qin was horrified. He vaguely felt that there was something in his heart, but he could do nothing about it. Han Yu pretended to be surprised and said, No, I'm just standing here. How could I know what you're having trouble with? Ji Lingling behind him couldn't help laughing. Boy, you have completely angered me. Give me an increase. Even if you don't have this old face today, I will cut you into pieces. The 3 young men understood, and 2 yellow and yellow soul rings instantly appeared at their feet. The soul skills of multiple 7 treasure glazed tile pagodas would have no unnecessary effect on one person, so the 3 of them stood in a row and sent the soul power to one of them, and this person would provide an increase for Elder Qin. Fancy. However, Han Yu was not completely without gains. At least now it seems that the 7-in-1 fusion technique developed by Yu Xiaogang was largely obtained from the Qibao Glazed Sect, but this guy was shameless and monopolized the results. It's a pity that Ning Fengji didn't know what Yu Xiaogang said, otherwise he might not cooperate with Lanba Academy. Pawed out another snap of his fingers. This time, Elder Qin was not so lucky. His entire body spontaneously ignited and turned into nothingness. Amid a burst of miserable screams, P.S. The protagonist will have other martial arts in the future. If readers have any martial arts that they want to see, the author can arrange it. Dear readers, please read it every day. After it is put on the shelves, I will repay you every day and every month. Oh my God, don't forget the recommended monthly pass too. Chapter 9 The Past of Jiuxin Begonia. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What did you do? We are disciples of the Qibao Glazed Sect. You can't kill us. After losing the most powerful Elder Qin, the 3 young men instantly collapsed to the ground, talking incoherently. Naturally, Han Yu would not let them go. However, this battle also made him deeply realize the power of fallen heart flame. Soul Emperor, if you say no, it will be gone. Perhaps, with his current fire control ability, he is not enough to threaten the powerful Contra and above. But it is still possible to rely on inner fire to distract them during the battle. After looking at the 3 young men in front of him, Han Yu was not in a hurry to take action, but turned his attention to Yi Lingling. Lingling, I know you are an auxiliary soul master. Maybe you can't bear it if I ask you to kill people, but you have to think clearly about what you will do if you let these guys go. Before he finished speaking, Yi Lingling snapped his fingers in imitation. The 3 young men didn't even scream, and then turned into nothingness. Okay, pretend I didn't say that. Han Yu was speechless for a while. Yi Lingling felt relieved, and her body went limp and fell into Han Yu's arms. It seems that there is a deep grudge between you and the Qibao Glazed Sect. Teacher Han Yi Lingling had tears in her eyes. Their family has been hunted by the Qibao Glazed Sect for many years, and today they finally got some interest back. Han Yu gently stroked her forehead and comforted her. So you went to Tiando Royal Academy to seek asylum from the Tiando Empire. Yi Lingling nodded, but hesitated to speak. The strength of the Qibao Glazed Sect was something that few forces could shake. She was afraid that she would implicate Han Yu, and even more afraid that she would implicate other students in the college. Of course, if Han Yu knew that she thought so, he would be eager for Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo to come to Nodding College. Xiao Wu's temptation will definitely be greater than Yi Lingling's by then. TSK, Tang Hao fights Sword Douluo. This is a rare opportunity to observe and learn. Can you tell me what happened between you two? Yi Lingling bit her lip, struggled internally for a moment, and finally made up her mind. A long time ago, there was no sect like the Seven Treasures Glazed Tiles sect on the mainland. The first leader of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tiles sect met many powerful people because of the powerful auxiliary capabilities of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile Tower weapons. At that time, the ancestor of our Yi family, the martial soul accidentally mutated into Jiuxin Begonia. With the powerful healing effect of the martial soul, he also recruited a large number of strong people. The earliest Qibao Glazed sect was just a larger family, and the Yi family at that time was as famous as them. Although the Qibao Glazed Pagoda martial spirit cannot break through the restrictions of the Seven Rings, it is a blessing in disguise that this martial spirit can be passed down continuously. However, the Yi family's nine-hearted Begonia martial spirit can only be passed down to one generation, and there will only be at most two nine-hearted Begonia spirit masters in the same era. Only after one of them dies can their descendants be born again. The Ning family relied on the inheritance of martial arts and made friends with strong people in all aspects. The Yi family finally seemed to be weak and was submerged in the long river of time, but now, Yi Lingling's family can only be regarded as a third-rate family. The Ning family naturally knew how powerful Jiuxin Haitang's martial spirit was. In order to prevent one day from breaking through the inheritance limit of martial souls, they have been hunting Jiuxin Haitang's soul master all the time since the Qibao Glazed sect was established for nearly 1,000 years. Hearing these cryptic words, even Han Yu couldn't help but frown. After chasing for thousands of years, the Qibao Glazed sect is really capable of it. It seems that I don't know enough about Douluo continent. The original work I read in my previous life was just a chapter about the winner from Tang San's perspective. As one of the victors, Ning Fengji would naturally not record their dark side. In the Soul Master competition, Yi Lingling was killed by the golden generation of Wuhuan Palace. Naturally, Ning Fengji would not mention this matter again. In addition, the Qibao Glazed sect and the Tiando Empire have a cooperative relationship, so Ning Fengji really cannot forcefully kill the talents Shui values. Of course, Yi Lingling's soul power level was not high at that time. If she breaks through to Soul Saint after graduation, Ning Fengji will probably let Sword and Bone Douluo take action even if Wuhuan Palace doesn't take action. I'm sorry, Teacher Han. I still won't join your academy. I'm afraid of the Qibao Glazed sect. Yi Lingling lowered her head, her eyes full of guilt. Lingling, even if our academy is defeated by the Qibao Glazed sect, please believe me. If the Qibao Glazed sect dares to attack you, he will never come back. The power of the strange fire does not end there. Han Yu is confident that he can use it to threaten tidal Douluo. Xiaohuahua can use Buddha's Wrath Fire Lotus to blast ozone, and he can do the same. Let's go, teacher, I want to get the soul ring too. As for the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, you don't have to worry. Those guys were killed just now, and the news cannot reach Ning Fengji's ears. Well. In order to prevent the Qibao Glazed sect from having a backup plan, Han Yu did not dare to stay nearby. 3 days later, he found a soul beast that suited him as he wished. 26,000 years of flying birds of fire are just right. Although his age is more than 1,000 years, the 100,000-year-old fire cloud crane soul ring he possesses, relying on the remnant thoughts in the soul ring, the remnant soul of the flaming flying bird is not enough to threaten his sea of consciousness. Huan is the king of birds, and cannot be compared to a mere 26,000-year-old spirit beast. Teacher Han, is this soul beast too old? Yi Lingling asked doubtfully. Han Yu is a teacher, how could he not be able to tell the age of the soul beast? It's okay. My fourth soul ring is a 100,000-year soul ring. Absorbing the soul ring will strengthen the soul master's physical fitness, you should know that. Yi Lingling nodded. There are only a few people on the mainland who can absorb a 100,000-year soul ring. No one knows to what extent a 100,000-year soul ring can increase the body's strength. Yi Lingling said no more. Han Yu set up a circle of heart fire around her. Once a soul beast came close, it would be burned out immediately. Without any worries, Han Yu rushed out with the fire cloud stick in hand. The physical quality of the soul beast is far stronger than that of humans. In terms of strength, this guy is probably no weaker than the elder of the 7 treasures Glazed sect. Hey, if he has the skill to control flames, I can destroy this soul beast with just a flip of my hand. However, Han Yu is not greedy either. Although the power of the alien fire is powerful, he still has another martial soul after all. You can't just rely on the strange fire and give up on the cultivation of the first martial soul. Firefly bird discovered Han Yu's figure. Any uninvited guest who appears on its territory will be treated as an intruder. Stop screaming, it's too noisy. The third soul skill, stepping on flames. Han Yu's whole body was bathed in firelight, and his speed and fire attribute abilities were increased by 50%. The martial soul has evolved, and the effects of the soul skills have also improved a lot. At the beginning, his third soul ring could only increase by 20%, the figure came to the fire-flying bird, and the fire cloud stick in Han Yu's hand was swung rapidly. The first soul skill, fire cloud circle dance stick. The pyrotechnic bird soared into the sky, and the moment its wings flapped, a sea of flames filled the sky and attacked Han Yu. Chapter 10 People from Haotian Sect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Little tricks. Han Yu smiled, and a blood-red soul ring instantly lit up at his feet. The intimidating power of the 100,000-year-old soul ring made Yan Huolai Fanio panic. The fourth soul skill, burning clouds. Rolling heat waves surged out of Han Yu's body, forming a crimson ocean. The moment the two flames merged, a violent explosion occurred. All the trees within a few hundred meters were burned to ashes. Ahem, this guy is still a mutated beast, and the flame intensity is actually inferior to my fire cloud crane fire. When the difference in flames is large, the stronger one will devour the weaker one. But if there is not much difference, if the two blend with each other, they will explode. Huiyun's flame itself was very powerful, but Han Yu's soul power level was too low and he was unable to exert his strength to the tune of 1/10 or 2. Suddenly, a burst of white light enveloped his body. Thank you, Lingling. He was in the center of the explosion just now. Even with the inner fire protection, Han Yu was still a little embarrassed by the shock wave. However, his opponent, Firebird, was directly knocked to the ground by the shock wave. Seizing the opportunity, Han Yu held the fire cloud stick in his hand and shouted, the second soul skill, fire cloud stick. Another place in the Star Forest. More than half a month had passed since Huiyun had sacrificed himself. Many forces had already withdrawn their personnel after seeing that the search was fruitless. However, some forces still choose to continue searching. 3 young men wearing black leather coats rested in the forest. One of the younger youths asked, Brother Tangli, why does the 7th elder let us continue the search? There will be no results. As the eldest among them, Tangli naturally knew the reason. 100,000-year-old soul ring is no small matter. The old sect leader said back then that 100,000-year-old soul ring will explode 100,000-year-old soul bone. The 7th elder has sent the bloody light beam back to the sect for confirmation a few days ago, and it is definitely 100,000-year-old soul ring. Soul beast sacrifice. Brother Tangli, those who can absorb 100,000-year soul ring must be a strong person. I'm afraid we soul kings are no match. A young man named Tang San said with some worry. Tangli shook his head. I know what you are thinking, but to sacrifice a soul beast, you do not have to have a soul power of level 90. Even a level 10 soul warrior can still perfectly absorb 100,000-year soul ring. Doesn't that mean that I can also absorb 100,000-year soul ring? Tang Bing said eagerly. Tangli caressed his forehead. Don't think so much. The 7th elder means that we can find traces of that person, and then the elder will personally take action. As for the soul ring, don't think about it. Even if that person is really if he is killed, we will not have a chance to seize the soul ring. This trip is for the 100,000-year-old soul bone in his body. Oh my God, even our Haotian sect, as the #1 sect in the world, doesn't have 100,000-year soul bone. So. Rumble. Suddenly a loud noise attracted the attention of the 3 people. Brother Tangli, someone is fighting the soul beast. Tangli nodded. The elder's order is that we would rather kill by mistake than let anyone go. Let's go and have a look. If he is not a disciple of Wuhuan Palace or Shangsan Sect, he will die. Tang Sun smiled and said, "Hey, brother Tangli, whoever kills that person will get the property on that person." Yes. But the sect has been closed for a long time, so we can't completely monopolize it. At least, we have to invite the other two people to go to the nearby Soto city to have fun. Necessary. Thump. The huge figure of the fire bird fell to the ground. Han Yu looked at the black soul ring floating from the corpse and couldn't help but sigh, this guy's body is really tough. If the power of the fallen heart flame hadn't been strong enough, I might not be able to defeat you. The body of a soul beast is far stronger than that of a human being. Even if the heart is burning, Han Yu still has to go through a lot of troubles. Seeing this, Yi Langliang ran over quickly. "Teacher Han, are you not injured? Thank you for your treatment." TSK, you are indeed Jiuxin Haitang. I am afraid that any healing martial spirit on the mainland is far inferior to you. Han Yu said with a smile. With Yi Lingling's help, he felt much more relaxed. It's a pity that this martial spirit is a disaster for me. Yi Lingling sighed in his heart. Seeing her thoughts, Han Yu smiled and patted her shoulder. Don't think so much. This is not a place to absorb soul rings. Go back to the previous cave first. Next, Han Yu dragged the body of the fire bird and ran quickly in the forest. This place is not very far from the cave, enough to reach it before the spirit ring dissipates. However, before they had gone far, a group of 3 people blocked their way. These 3 people were Tang Li's group. Seeing the corpse in Han Yu's hands and the floating soul ring, he ordered. "Boy, hand over your soul bones, and I can let you live." Soul bone. Han Yu was stunned for a while. He did not examine the body of the fire bird. Is there really a soul bone? However, after some mental testing, he found no abnormalities. "Boy, didn't you hear what Brother Tangli said?" Tang Sun took a step forward and pointed at Yi Lingling. "Boy, hand over the beauty and I will let you live. Boy, hand over your belongings and I will spare your life." Tang Bing followed. "Are you treating me like a fat sheep?" Han Yu sneered. When someone picks up the wool on him, isn't he turning on the light in the toilet and looking for death? Fire cloud stick. Holding a weapon, Han Yu took a few steps forward. "I don't know what is good or bad. Brothers, activate your martial spirit." Tang Li said with a sneer. Suddenly, 3 clear sky hammers appeared in their respective hands. "People of the Haotian sect, aren't you afraid that the Wuhuan Palace will cause trouble for you?" Han Yu also didn't expect that his luck would be so good. "I met people from the Qibao Glazed sect a few days ago, and now I have met people from the Haotian sect. Do I have to meet people from the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family?" Martial Soul Hall. If the old sect master hadn't been away, Wuhuan Palace would have surrendered to our Haotian sect long ago. Tang Li sneered and said, "Don't expect Wuhuan Palace to save you. Now in this area of the Star Do Forest, there are no more people from Wuhuan Palace." "Brother, that's a 26,000-year-old soul beast. I'm afraid this guy is going to be promoted to Soul Emperor." Tang Bing, with sharp eyes, said nervously, "A normal Soul Emperor's 6th soul ring is about 20,000 years old, but some types of soul beasts that happen to be restrained by martial souls can absorb higher years without any problem." Tang Li's face was gloomy. With such strength at such a young age, the opponent is likely to have a good background. However, the other party had just moved out the name of Wuhuan Palace. Then there is a high probability that he is from Wuhuan Palace. What Wuhundian did to Haotian sect made him angrier and angrier as he thought about it, so killing Han Yu was considered as collecting some interest. Together, even the Soul Emperor will not be our opponent. The Clear Sky Hammer is the best martial spirit in the world. The old sect leader even surpassed the enemy in the past. We cannot bring shame to the Clear Sky sect. Haotian Hammer, Random Cloak. The 3 of them took action together. "I won't play with you anymore, let's end it. There are just 3 soul kings, and the fallen heart flame is enough to erase them."